Welcome to the Intuitive Ascending Mind podcast with your host, Alia Yasmin Khan. Throughout this series, you'll learn how cultivating a growth mindset can unlock your true potential and impact every aspect of your life. Join Alia and her guest each episode as they dive deep into strategies for personal development and lasting transformation. Now, here's Alia.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Intuitive Ascending Mind podcast. Joining me on today's podcast is Janet Lam, and she's coming in from Vancouver, Canada. She is the principal consultant and founder of Building Blocks Business Planning. And she is going to share with us a little bit about her mindset and what made her get into this world of finance and hopefully some tips, some money tips that's going to be beneficial to us. Welcome to the show, Janet. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me here today.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Janet, tell us a little bit about what brought you to this point. What is your journey?
Well, I'm a business consultant now and an AI strategist, and I have over 17 years of experiences working with purpose-driven businesses, helping them drive growth, streamline their operations, or do better market positioning. And I have a background in finance, particularly in investment banking and capital markets. And then I also I have a degree in mathematics, so my nerdy side, and then also a business degree and MBA from SIA Business School. So I think these kind of help me bridge the gap between business and technology. And so I've had the opportunity to work with companies from North America and Asia looking to expand to overseas. So guiding them through digital transformation and also with business expansions and strategies to help them achieve growth. So I guess I have been in different sectors and different continents and countries. So that's my life journey.
That's pretty awesome. Sounds like you're really a numbers person, like a very finance driven numbers person. Share with us what are certain common maybe money mistakes that people make out there or investment mistakes?
Yeah, definitely. Because since young, I've always been drawn to numbers. Like I love numbers and spreadsheets. And I guess when the clients I work with, the number one um number mistake or money mistakes, they need to kind of look at the data to I guess like for me, even with my past experience in the investment banking capital market, I think it's a sector that like the past data, historical records, and the stock trends is really something that can help you make decisions. So, but I guess a lot of um people, they once they see numbers, they kind of like gives them a headache. So I think we need to like kind of overcome that barrier and see like data is a really good information that can help you make decisions.
Are there certain patterns that the stock market kind of like follow? Are is that a real thing? Like I often hear people talk about it, like, and then what is that pattern? Like how do you solve for that kind of?
Yeah, so for myself, so just what I look at is the like what they're trending at. They're trending high or low is or there's something very, volatile going on, then I have to look at why it's happening. Because these numbers, like if this is suddenly is going to like roller coaster, then it's like piece of information, right? Then you can like check to see if there's news going on, what's behind it. And then you can go and fact find and see like is there news coming out or like what's going on with the company, and then this give you more information to decide. So I guess and of course like you cannot no one can predict the future, but these are information that can help you see what's happening behind the company, what's going on, and even with the world, and then you can make a decision. So these are just the information that can help you.
Interesting. How do you convince your clients that, this is what the advice you're giving them is like gonna work for them?
Um, well, so of course we never guarantee any results, but then usually it's based on our experiences and the past clients we work with, and also if clients looking to raise funds or for their startups or business, because now I work a lot more with the private companies. So um, like I always tell them, like, if your company has solid foundation, good financials, and you're able to provide return to your investors, so then it will be a win-win situation because people invest in your company, they of course they look for return, right? So we the best strategies we would be to how to structure yourself to be of value to other people and also like have potential and have a purpose to better society and also bring in return at the same time. So I guess like based on our experiences, we're able to provide advices to see how companies can achieve that.
You
Yeah.
really hit something pretty spot on right there. I think it's always about purpose and service. And
Yeah.
I think as business owners, you have to make sure that you know what your purpose is and it is your calling and it's not just that you're doing it for money. Like you have to want to do it for people, for service. Like, and I think that makes a big impact in doing what you do. Have you always known that you wanted to be in this field of work, or was this like something that you just kind of fell into alignment with?
Actually, yeah, I never thought life would become like this actually, because when I was young, I was actually I thought I would be an artist. And then I became like, I guess because I came from Hong Kong and I moved to Canada, and um yeah, I've always been drawn to math, and then I started to go into this like more math education, and I really like how 1 plus 1 gives, like, math always give you an answer, right? 1 plus 1 is always 2. So I really like that. And then but after my university degree, well, I realized I can't really find a job with math. So then I kind of got into business, and then it's actually pretty good because math gave me the structure, and then business taught me that, how to put it into real life practices, because 1 plus 1 is not always equals to 2. It can be 4 in the business world. It's just like anything can happen, right? So it gave me more of a balance, and then I um got into finance and then business consulting because I do really enjoy solving problems. I think that's my strength and I like doing it. So like turning something very complex into a simple solutions. So, and I like to talk to people and work with teams and help people like think of solutions. So I think, yeah, that's how I found this path, which I really enjoy.
Nice. How long has your company been up and running now?
So Building Blocks has been up and running for almost 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And we actually started in the States,
Uh-huh.
and we moved I moved back to Vancouver kind of right before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a struggle because we had to start over again. But yeah, it works out for the better. So
What pushed you through that start over process? Because a lot of people sometimes when that happens, like something disrupts them, like COVID disrupted them, like their business just tanked and that was it. But you pushed through and you just rebuilt what you had, but you rebuilt it in a different market. So like what motivated that decision and like what kept you going through those times? Because those were very uncertain times.
yes. I think for me, well, I have this kind of belief that as long as I don't give up, then I didn't fail because technically I have not given up yet. So for me, it's a pivot, and so I moved back and start over and kind of just because it's something that I really like to do, and I think I can succeed in it. So that's why I stuck through the time and um be persistent. And I also believe that like always for any business owners looking to start a business, always give it 3 years even if you change your new ideas, give it 3 years. Uh,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and it could, but bear in mind, like 3 years may sound very short just hearing it, but like if you're doing it, um, like so be prepared that it could be like 2 years and 11 months of nothing, and then you can skyrocket in the last month. So be persistent to get through the initial time that has no results, but then it will come.
Absolutely. I spend a lot of time, coach and develop people, and persistence, resilience, fortitude. I mean, like just ridiculous amounts of discipline is the thing that I really spend on getting people to develop that skill, because it requires a lot of continuous work to push through with something. And this is the thing, when you're in the midst of it, you feel like you're growing slowly.
Yes.
But when you get to a certain point and you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, I did so much in the past year. But in the midst of it, like in this day, in this moment, you're like, nothing's happening fast enough. Like it's just not happening fast enough. But then you look back at it and you're like, oh my God, we accomplished a lot and we grew quite a bit. But it's hard to see for, I think, a lot of business owners and a lot of founders out there. It's very hard to kind of look back and say, oh my gosh, how did I get here? Um, after that time has passed. But if you don't consistently push towards it, if you look at present moment, you feel like it's not moving fast enough, and you're more likely to quit
Yeah.
because if it doesn't feel like anything's going anywhere. And
Yeah.
it really is akin to a seed being planted in the dirt. Like it's really in darkness for a long time up until it sprouts. And once it sprouts, you have to continue to nurture it. So once that little business starts sprouting and starts getting you some more business, then you got to care for it a little bit more until it turns into like, this big tree. So I do like that 3 year window that you suggested, because I think that's a fair analysis to determine, like, is your business moving in the right direction? It's good to take a look and take account of that, because in the beginning it's just you're just laying foundation, like, just laying
Yeah,
foundation.
exactly. Because I like how you said in the dark, because yeah, you don't see where it ends. Like
So
the no result is so easy to give up because it's just very hard. Like you have to have like a very strong mindset and the persistence to continue.
is there anything that you do with like your mindset or your practices that gives you that sort of resilience or that type of like perseverance through?
Um, well, I also looked at a lot of great mentors and examples, and I do realize a lot of them actually took 3 years to. So I think the 3 years a golden rule. And also I like to I have a very good like I like to structure my time and like do goals and achievements. So I plan it out in the 3 years. And then even though it's no results, but then I know I've done something, like I created a website, I built a CRM list and all that. So it kind of like these little achievements can help me move towards like one step at a time and then get to bigger goals later on. So I think so I create my own little achievements, even though there's no bigger achievement during that time.
Yeah, let me ask this question. Like, being a business owner requires a lot of flexibility and growth.
Hmm.
Is there what develops that flexibility in you? Like what helps you kind of come back on track? Let's say you veered off track a little bit. Like what will get you back on track? Do you have a certain practice or anything?
I will power here. Success isn't for everyone. It demands focus, discipline, and strategy. Introducing the OWLS method, designed for those who take their goals seriously. O. Become the observer of your thoughts and feelings. Analyze them. Become aware of your emotions and beliefs. Only then can you master your mind. W. You should write down your goals, every detail, every step, and write the thoughts and affirmations that will drive you relentlessly toward them. L. Listen. Fill your mind only with knowledge that will move you to your goal. Write affirmations that fuel your ambition. No distractions. No compromise. S. Speak with certainty. Your words reflect your beliefs. When you speak, it's not a possibility, it's an inevitability. It's confidence. Observe, write, listen, and speak. The Owl's Method. Master your thoughts. Conquer your goals.
Oh, yes, it's very, very easy to get distracted. And I think for me, I write down what I want. Yeah, it sounds like a very simple task, but then it's actually very powerful. I think a lot of people don't do it too. I just write down what I want, and then these are my goals, how do I achieve it, and then like break them down to very, very small tasks and to-do lists. And then I love the process of checking things off.
It
So
feels so good, doesn't
yeah.
it?
So that actually brings me back on track so I can check off a task I did and then okay, so I should like focus on these and be stop being distracted, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are vying for our attention, like things that want to distract us.
Mhm.
And being able, the only people that are successful are the ones that really diligently come back to task and have that. And I remember years ago, Brian Tracy, I was reading one of his books and I was also watching him on YouTube and he said, write it down, write it down, write it down, write it down. And I literally took that as a mantra and embedded it into my mind because the moment I started to write it down, like it's almost like the world kind of shape shifted at that moment and everything
Mm.
just like came into place for the business, for everything. And this is the second business that I have, but it's pretty cool to see how the power behind write it down really works, you know?
I think so. And I think it's also kind of like manifestation. So if you write it down, then it becomes more solid and it drives you to achieve it more than just in your head. Yeah, and also another thing is like do it and it's like because if things is just in your head and you're just thinking about it, think of the best scenario, best solution, but you don't put it in action, it will never happen.
It's true. It does require action as well. It's not just writing it down, right? So it's like you have to have the imagination to create the thoughts of how it's going to look. You got to write it down. You got to put goals. And then you got to study because like you got to study what other people in that industry are doing in
Yeah.
order to, progress along the way. So that requires some work as well because you got to study competitors at some point and create a plan. What am I going to do about competitors? Like, how do I stand out? How do I make my business different? These are
Yeah.
all things along the lines of that. What are some of the best money practices that you encourage your clients to do or you would give to somebody like just as a good solid practice?
Um, best money practice. Well, so right now, so my firm, we're a business consultant, so we help business how to we provide business strategies and AI strategies to help them how to improve their productivity and growth and sales. So I guess the best advice is actually don't be afraid to spend money
Mm.
because a lot of business owners they're concerned about the cost, they're afraid to spend, but you have to know that like, of course you make the decisions and usually money can help you grow more money. And so if you spend this investment is an investment that it can help you grow your team and grow your business and bring you better return. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there like a certain formula maybe that you follow or so? Is it like, okay, or in the beginning, are you just kind of like dumping in money and then just testing out different systems like a A/B system type situation?
I think in the beginning, so I believe a lot of I guess SMEs or small business owners, they're usually a one man show. And it's great in the beginning, but it might get to a point that it just becomes very overwhelming and it's gonna affect your mental health, affect your like work-life balance, and you might miss opportunity because like one person can't handle all the tasks and there's a lot of tedious tasks that you can actually hire someone else to do or like make an investment to create a system that can help you automate tasks and make your work flow more smooth and efficient. So these are like you have to assess if you get to the point that you do need to expand and you need to spend some money to grow your operations just to fulfill all the new business that are coming in. Otherwise, like it might have negative impact on your company because you can't service your clients in the way that you normally do, and you might miss opportunities. So yeah, usually in the beginning there is a spot, like a sweet spot that where you kind of stuck in a bottleneck. So it's time to like, think of a strategies to build a system to help you.
Nice, very nice. I think that's great advice. I think that, being comfortable with spending and investing in the business, I think is necessary.
Mhm.
And I know that it can be a little bit intimidating when you put it into perspective, because it's like, okay, is this a good idea? Is this not a good idea? How's this going to turn out? What if the business doesn't do well? Is there anything that you say to like your clients to help overcome their challenges mentally when it comes to like, investing a little bit heavier? Is there anything that you say to them like, that kind of like allows them to understand why they need to do it more?
Yeah. Well, I always tell them it's an investment. It's an investment in yourself and in your company, and it's not money that you dump into the water, right? It's an investment that can bring a return.
Yeah.
And yeah, because you think of it like you can hire professionals that have done it, and these are the expertise, and they can do it fast and efficient for you, rather than you kind of like in the dark, figuring out how to do it, learn how to do it, and like your time should be spent on running your business, right?
Mhm.
So there's better opportunity spent than spending time on exploring things that is not in your expertise. And it's also like takes more time, and we know time is money. And with like the work that we're helping our clients do, like with the AI solutions, like it's just moving so fast. Like we gotta act fast and like do it now.
I love like I have just been loving AI lately just because it just gives you like fast answers to so many
Mhm.
things, and it just like opens up your awareness if if you ask it the right questions and things like that. What type of AI solutions do you find yourself implementing into these businesses?
Yes, actually, yeah, AI is just so broad. And I absolutely love this technology, and it has so much potential to reshape how businesses operate. Say we've worked with an e-commerce company to help them implement AI, so it actually helps them cut down the delivery times or in terms of logistics and have better customer engagement. And also the system can help them kind of understand their customers' behavior, so it can help them suggest products that would the customers would like better, and based on data do like predictive behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
So these are some of the tools that AIs can do. And a lot of our clients at first they are quite hesitant about it because they think it's so complex or they don't understand it. But what I love about AI now is just it's so accessible, and I agree the backend, like the coding or the training, the algorithm is complex, but we don't need to understand that because a lot of tools now are business ready, and it's also designed to be user friendly. So these are the tools that we can suggest to our clients to use and help them guide them to implement it into their existing system. So then there's as little downtime as possible.
Yeah, we've come a far way with AI, and I feel like this, like every month, it just like I see an AI that just wows me, and I'm like, whoa, it can do
Yeah.
that. And I'm like, my goodness, I'm actually excited for the next few years, and at the same time terrified. Like I don't know how to describe it, but it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome because it's such a support system. It does concern me with jobs though, like, but I feel as though like consulting will always be something people want a human connection with another human being in order to be guided by a human. You know, like certain things you'll ask AI, but then you do want that human kind of let's talk this through type of conversation. So I think that, yeah. Um, what are your like future goals? Where are you heading to? What's important to you now?
Well, future goal is to continue with building blogs, and I love working with my clients and helping them like problem solve and finding the solution, AI solutions or digital solutions that can better the business and working with purpose-driven companies. Because I always like to work with startups or companies that have mission to better the world, society, and I strongly support them. And yeah, so I hope to continue my consulting business and also try to work with other startups to mentor them and help them, especially ones I want they're from Asia and looking to expand to North America.
Okay, so that was going to be my other question. Like, do you work with people outside of Vancouver, like outside of Canada? And you just kind of answered that. Um, what type of what does those transitions kind of look like? I'm just curious. Like, is it an easy transition? Like, is it a difficult transition?
Yeah, I do. And I think a lot of time it's the different culture that plays a big impact as well because doing business in Asia compared to doing business in North America is so different. So for me, like other than the business strategy, a lot of time I kind of bridge the gap culturally. So help them understand, okay, there's different business practices in North America, and then we have to respect each other and then respect our culture and also and in terms of language wise, because I speak English, Cantonese, and Mandarin, so I'm able to communicate better.
Hmm.
Um, and they do feel more, I guess, they like that familiarity, being able to speak in the same language, but at the same time, I can introduce the other business strategies and culture to them.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that is very interesting. Very interesting.
It's a very we're part of like it's kind of weird because I really feel like countries have kind of I don't want to say like kind of dissolve away in terms of business because now you're just able to do business from wherever you're at in the world, basically, you know, and just having the ability to do that. I mean, just consider like, you know, 10, 20 years ago, that wasn't an option. But today it's like it's a very good option. Like you can work with anybody from anywhere in the world, you know, basically, and help them to, you know, better their lives as well.
Yeah,
So,
actually, that's a great point you point out because I remember back in the days when I was still in investment banking. So I worked with clients from Asia back then as well. But then technology wasn't as advanced, so I would be like talking to clients, I guess my nighttime, their morning time. So around usually my Asia hours would be from like 10 p.m. onward. And I would have this client like having working on, I guess, like multi-millions, but then we've never met ever.
you see, you
Yeah.
see, that's pretty awesome. It's good growing a community like that. I think it's pretty cool. You know, it's funny because I am based out of Phoenix, Arizona, and you know, I tried to do outreach in Phoenix, but I have so many people that come in from all different parts of the world.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing to just see people, you know, connect with people and, you know, being able to like highlight the skills, the development, the ideas, you know, not having like not everybody has to share the same ideas. Like we can have different
Mm,
systems that work and learn about each other's systems and see what's beneficial to us and kind of, build our own business strategies off of that and build our own foundation for business off of that as well, because it makes a difference when you have the right knowledge.
Yeah. It's
And
always nice to put a face to who you're talking to now too.
absolutely. And then that's nice too, because we got Zoom. We can always so many so many apps that you can have like virtual events and live events,
Yeah.
instead of live events. But I still like the human touch of being in person and in front of a crowd, but it's kind of really nice being able to connect with people, in different parts of the world and see what they're doing and how they do what they do. I'm very impressed with all the things that you do. To me, it's pretty amazing.
Thank you.
And I think just being able to help those that may be afraid to expand their business into North America and kind of being that hybrid, that balance that helps them um make that leap, because you've done it, you've made the leap. So like you're sharing your knowledge, with
Mhm.
them. Um, Let me ask this question. Is um is there an ideal client that you wish to reach? Do you have like certain clients that you like to work with?
Um, well, I generally like to work with clients that already believe in the surface. So they believe the importance of AI, they want to explore it, but they just, don't have the time and they believe in hiring a consultant to help them because they see the value in it. So for me, it's very important that both sides values align so that's how the work business relationship can work, that we value each other, and then that can create the most optimal results. So these are the type of clients that I would like to work with. Yeah.
Yeah. So guys out there, if you like AI, Janet's your girl. If you don't like AI, don't call me. I'll work on your mindset first.
Yeah.
So yes, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show and just sharing some of your insights and your knowledge. I think it's super beneficial. How can people reach you?
So they can come to our website, www.consultbuildingblocks.com. And so our contact info is on there. Also, our socials are listed on our website. So that will be the best place.
Great. We will also have that information linked for you on the Sublime Knowledge podcast on the website, and you will have access to messaging Janet. And if you have any questions, I think this was a great show. I want to thank you so much, Janet, for being on the show today, and lots of success to you, my dear.
Thank you, Alia. Thank you so much.
Thank you.